Welcome back to Explain America. This is your host, Kyle Becker. Well, it should be no surprise to the American people that another rogue judge is interfering with the administration of justice in this country. It's almost like they're not really judges, but they're actually radical activists. Interesting thought. Well, a Clinton appointee has just stepped into the fray between the Letitia James and Comey cases, and you're gonna really be stunned at just the hubris of this judge because, well, we'll break it down in a moment. But before we get into this story, please like, share, and comment at Explain America. We appreciate your support for common sense journalism. So, rogue judges have been interfering with the Trump administration since day one. And now the same feckless actors who had nothing to say about Jack Smith's unconstitutional appointment as a special counsel, obviously in some weaponized lawfare during the 2024 election campaign, well, they are very offended that Trump would appoint a U.S. attorney in the Eastern District of Virginia who, well, is actually interested in justice. I know it's a crazy thought, but this two-tier justice system that has been going on for decades in the United States, well, it really feels like it's under siege now because there are finally some prosecutors being appointed that don't care if you have an R or a D next to your name. And these left-wing activist judges, they can't handle it. So now a federal judge on Tuesday has ordered the Justice Department to submit all evidence of U.S. Attorney Lindsay Halligan's involvement in the Comey and Letitia James criminal cases. Well, here's the thing about that. If a U.S. attorney or a prosecutor supplies evidence of wrongdoing in cases and the evidence is rock solid and it presents a case that the defendant is likely guilty before a jury, well, what does that have to do with the prosecutor who runs an attorney's office? Well, it really doesn't have much to do with it at all. But corrupt New York Attorney General Letitia James was arraigned in court in Virginia on Friday, and Letitia James' federal criminal case was assigned to U.S. District Judge Jamar Walker, who's a Biden appointee. This is a different judge. Now, on Friday, Letitia James filed a motion to dismiss the federal indictment, arguing that U.S. Attorney Lindsay Halligan's appointment is unconstitutional because it violates the Appointments Clause. Now, James also asked Judge Jamar Walker to consolidate her motion challenging the appointment of Halligan with James Comey's motion in a separate case. So on Tuesday, the chief judge of the Fourth Circuit Court of Appeals ordered Comey's motion challenging Halligan to be transferred to Judge Cameron McGowan Curry, a Clinton appointee. So we're seeing once again Democrat judges rallying around the party, trying to be the good little operatives that they are, and gumming up the works and trying to protect these parties that appear to be guilty. And a grand jury in these cases, they will decide how far these charges go. And Comey's already been indicted. He is facing a jury. And, Letitia James is going to face a jury. So, why do these judges have to try to protect these Democrats? That's my question. Is it your job to protect these Democrats? I don't think it is. I think you're violating your oath of office. And, this is just the start. It's the tip of the iceberg. There's going to be more bad actors that are going to be coming down the tracks. And the Democrats, they're already trying to stall, to gum up the machinery because, quite frankly, they're in panic mode. They need this two-tiered system of justice in order to survive. As a party in this country, they're losing their grip on the national media because we have alternative media, and we also have the rumblings of changes at some of the networks, and that includes CBS News. We just saw, Barry Weiss take over as editor-in-chief, and she's, at least somewhat conservative. And there has been some exits already. John Dickerson, who was a Trump nemesis, and well, at least in his own mind, he is out because he didn't like how CBS handled a settlement with President Trump. So, well, good riddance. And, we need to reform the media. We need to reform the justice system. And it looks like some very small signs of progress are being made on those fronts. But weigh in with your thoughts. Do you think it's going fast enough? Because these rogue judges, they're continuing to violate their oath of office and interfere in cases they have no business interfering in. And, if Trump appointed this U.S. attorney, I would like to know why this attorney is not allowed to be appointed by a sitting president. And weigh in with your own thoughts. We appreciate hearing from you at Explain America.